Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today, we have a Fog of War match on Tier 3 on Goldfish Princess. Our players today is Cadeor and Bakuryu. Interesting matchup indeed. We have the Kindle versus the Andy, which is a very common matchup for Tier 3 when it comes to Fog. Andy's got lots and lots of benefits. Kindle's got lots and lots of benefits too. So, who wins out of these two on this map? Well, stick around and find out, folks. So, first of all, we have Kindle. So, Kindle is the urban terrain specialist, getting 140% firepower on urban terrain. And that's it for the day-to-day abilities for her. In addition, she has access to her co-power, Urban Blight, which does 3 points of damage globally to anything on a urban terrain. And her High Society Super Co-power will increase her firepower by 3% per city owned, or per property owned, I should say. And also increase the base firepower on cities to like 130%. Urban Blight increasing it to 80%. So she can be super effective, folks. And on the other hand, we have Andy. He has absolutely no day-to-day abilities. He does have access to his co-power, Hyper Repair, which will heal 2 HP globally, and Hyper Upgrade, which will heal 5 HP globally, increase movement by 1, and a small firepower bonus. So that is who we got today. And Goldfish Princess. Interesting Fog of War map. It is a triple base, single airport, comm tower contested in the middle, and HQ is actually in the middle also. And we have a pre-deployed lander on this very interesting little area of terrain with shoals around here. So you can get some pretty interesting movement with this lander, because it is actually able to go all the way over here, and you know, vice versa on this side. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one and see what happened today. Now, Cadeor opening up with the standard infantry builds. You gotta get the infantry on the field, folks. #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. And Bakuryu doing the exact same thing, going for those standard capture chains. Looks like both players are making their way up to the airports. Yep, both players making their way up to the airports. Bakuryu doing a little bit of a different build order than Cadeor at the moment. We're going with a backline recon instead of a frontline recon. Generally, I think I can understand why you would go frontline infantry, so you can get the infantry a little bit forward faster. This infantry is going to be delayed a little bit, unless of course we're like skipping properties over here. So we could technically skip this property down here for Cadeor, go right here, and then grab this property next turn and begin the capture on this one at the exact same time, but we'll see. Interesting! We're going for the skip on a property recon, going all the way down south from Bakuryu, and the triple infantry build, standard triple infantry build, folks. Beautiful stuff. Alright, second recon on the field from Cadeor at the moment, our Kindle player, and a black boat move from both players now. So the black boat is scouting out a neutral property. At the moment, this is a very valuable thing that you can do with these landers up until the point when you can actually start funneling units with them. You're able to scout between these two properties every single turn. So it can be incredibly useful doing that, because you will know where your opponent is, right? So, very good stuff. Okay, day 6, Cadeor has a recon right dead center in the middle of the map, and moving the recon a little bit more forward. Interesting position from this one. Is fairly overextended but hidden by the forest terrain at the moment, able to get a lot of intel on where Bakuryu is at the moment. Sending another recon up to the northwestern corner over here. So yeah, very good. Bakuryu is actually only relying on 1 recon at the moment, so pretty interesting that they're going to be doing that. Builds the first tank of the game right here, so very cool. I am a big fan of getting those tanks on the field. Definitely got to be doing it. Going for the comm tower, getting a nice boost with that black boat here. So you can see the movement potential of these black boats, right? So we have an infantry that just finished a cap over here. Boom, loaded into the black boat, and then all of a sudden, bloom, it is in the center of the map, ready to start capping the property right here. It's very cool stuff. Oh, and a nice attack right here. So that is a city boosted 140% firepower. Kindle strike on an infantry, taking it all the way down to 1. So that is going to limit the capture game of the Andy player quite a bit here. Now Andy, not necessarily deterred by that, actually goes and interrupts the comm tower down over here. So very nice, taking that guy all the way down to 5. Now unfortunately, if you're going to interrupt something, what you really want to do is you want to be able to do 6 damage to it. You don't want to do 5. I mean, obviously, interrupting is very, very good. But if you can do 6 damage and it takes it down to 4, then it takes it 3 more days to capture. So, not that you can prevent it, you know, but 6 HP is the golden spot for interrupts. Very, very nice. All right, so continuing that cap there. So that guy is going to be doing pretty good. Let me see this tank movement here. So we got vision up until this square. So the only thing, I mean, obviously you want to be putting your tanks in the forest. The only thing that I don't like is that if we are going to be attacking the recon, then we have to do it from this tile right here, which is the comm tower tile. If we moved it right here, then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could attack the recon from the forest. However, due to the vision right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so if we were to put it there, then the recon would know that there is a tank there waiting for it. So it's sort of a double-edged sword right there. You know, you can lay your cards out on the table and hope that your opponent goes for the interrupt again so that you can claim the recon, or you can go here and be a little bit more safe, because if he does actually attack the infantry right here, it looks like Cadeor would be able to just move his infantry 2 squares forward, gain vision on the recon, and then be able to blast the recon anyways. So cool stuff. All right, recon is completely surrounded over here, but has taken 2 shots on infantry. So we have 2 infantry down on 1, but the recon is going to be taking a big tank shot here. So it's going to be eating a tank shot. Okay, so recon actually did end up taking the shot, and yeah, cool. All right, yeah. All right, so taking the shot from this terrain, pretty good. I think that's like, you know, best case scenario, taking it from right there, because then the tank is going to be able to be pushing forward, right? So nice spot, not too bad. Anti-air on the build, or on the field, day 8. Anticipating those battlecopter builds. Tank actually moves up and strikes the middle infantry here, doing 6 points of damage, which is pretty good on this side. Doesn't know that there's a tank right here, so I mean, I fear the worst for that recon. It looks like next turn we probably will be losing that recon, but tank moves in and takes out a recon over here. So that's actually a pretty good trade. So we trade recon for recon, so not really too bad. Although Kindle has taken a lot more first strikes on infantry. So in theory, their capture game is going to be a lot stronger than the Andy player at the moment. But Andy is not doing too bad. He's still got 13 properties, working on 14 right there. Should be able to capture this one, so that'll be 15. So that'll even it out. If we allow this capture over here, then he will be ahead. Well, he won't actually be ahead, because Kindle will be able to capture these 2 properties here. Might even go for this one, but it's a little bit... Actually, he doesn't know that that's there. Yeah, I mean, in his mind, he might go for it, but he knows that there's a tank up here and 3 infantry, right? So, I don't know. I don't know if he'll go for it. We'll see. We'll see. So we move the infantry down onto this city tile, which is perfectly fine. We do want to cover the city tile so the Kindle can't get it. We leave it vulnerable to a tank strike. We know that there's a tank here, right? We know that if there is an infantry in this forest, it will have 2 vision, so we would have vision on this tile here. Could easily go here and take that shot for sure. Double tank build infantry on the field and going up to get some more caps. So we don't actually do that attack. We scout a infantry over here and we manage to plop them out of existence here. So very cool. Going for the comm tower cap. And battlecopter anti-air build over here on D10. It's not too bad. Air units are very effective with Fog of War. They can traverse immensely far and immensely fast. Very good front shifting. And if your opponent only has like 1 anti-air, well, you might get lucky because it's 50-50 chance on what side of the map the anti-air is going to be on, right? So some people might centralize their anti-airs so that they're able to front switch like wherever they're needed. I mean, like, he got hungry. Anti-air got very, very hungry there. I don't know if I would have went for that attack. Giving away, like, our only anti-air. Unless we're going to build another one? No, we don't. Okay, so that's, like, that's a little bit of a mistake right here. So you don't really want to be pushing your anti-airs, and you want to keep your anti-airs in the back, because your anti-airs have a very, very specific, like, thing. They have a specific thing. They have one goal, and that's to take care of air units, and maybe the occasional infantry, and maybe to finish off like a tank if you can like sneak your way in there or something, right? But what they're not really meant to do is to snipe out a random infantry in the front line when you know that your opponent has 2 tanks right there. So that's not really what they're meant for. But if we had built another anti-air, I would have thought it would be like perfectly fine. But the fact that we didn't make another one kind of got me a little bit worried. We could build a battlecopter next turn, and that would like ward off any air units that are potentially coming at the moment. But like, that's an easy like snipe on this guy, right? But the fact that we do have 3 tanks in the background, maybe his plan is that he's using it as bait, right? So that's an anti-air is like a high value target. Like if it was a tank, it's like, yeah, okay, I can maybe attack the tank, but is it really worth it? I don't know. But is it worth it to eliminate an anti-air when you know that you have a battlecopter on the way? Possibly. Let's see what Cadeor decides to do here. Alright, so takes out the infantry, but doesn't have the vision to actually see the tanks over here. So very nice tank placement, actually. We completely eliminate that anti-air. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. He's out of here. He's not coming back. Alright, so we scout a tank up in the north. Double tank build. Nice battlecopter placement actually right here. So this is great because it actually covers this tank right here. So if a tank were to go and strike this out, battlecopter moves in right afterwards. And Andy only has 1 comm tower, so technically it's not a guaranteed 2-shot kill over here. Yeah, it's technically shouldn't be a guaranteed 2-shot kill because we it shouldn't be, right? The guaranteed 2-shot kill is always the 120 zone. There is a percentage of a chance that it can be killed with 2 units, and it's a little bit higher because we did take chip damage from the anti-air from the first attack. So I would say that it's like it's got a pretty good chance, but okay. Not bad. Not bad. So we sort of spread our attacks out, right? We spread our attacks out and attack multiple things. Now the only problem with this is since we're fighting Kindle, right? A 6 HP tank moving over here onto this urban terrain will be able to take on the 8 HP tank. And like 2 5 HP tanks would be able to take on the 7 HP tank, and then we have the battlecopter moving in here. So Andy's really only going to be left with like a 7 HP tank and like a couple injured ones, right? But he's got hyper upgrade coming up pretty soon, so unless we actually get those KOs, it's going to be kind of risky. There's definitely KO potential on some of these units. Nice little clear on the recon right there, though. That was not bad. 2 HP? Pfft, nothing. Easy. Easy money. Alright. Double tanks moving forward, and the infantry drops in the south corner there. And just surrounded that tank, not giving them any options to move forward. Now, this is a very interesting scenario here. So, like I said, ooh, actually, you know what? This is kind of like an even better scenario, I think, because we have quite a few things that we can do. I mean, we can like move infantry over here, clear this, right? So then we Urban Blight, which is going to do 3 damage. So this got to be taken down to 4. So anti-air infantry could potentially clear a 4 HP tank, like alone, right there. And then we only have to deal with these guys. So Battlecopter will move here, be able to do like maybe 7 damage. And that could probably be like this, and this might be able to clear this. And then 5 HP and 5 HP would maybe clear this also. And then we have 2 more coming. But then you would be like prolonging the fight in the middle and allowing Andy to come in with potentially more powerful units. So, very interested to see what Cadeor decides to do here. Still has 15 minutes on the clock, so he's got lots and lots of time. Uses the Urban Blight, so very nice. Very nice. And we go in. So this, actually, the silo does not count as urban terrain, so we do not actually get the power bonus from that, unfortunately. Ooh, cool. So anti-air does go up. Are we going to try to clip it out with an infantry? Okay, so again, no urban bonus from that, unfortunately, but we do get to clear, which is fantastic. At least I think. I'm fairly certain you don't get the bonus from the silo. Okay. With Hyper Upgrade coming up, that's kind of a wasted shot, so I probably wouldn't even worry about that, honestly. If you're going to be putting the infantry up, I would go for the luck roll on the tank and try to clear that, because Hyper Upgrade, that infantry, you only do 60% damage to it. So it's just going to heal up to 9, then the 9 HP outweighs your 8 HP, and it's a loss of a tank, or loss of a infantry just going for an attack like that. If we were trying to be risky, I would definitely just kind of go for that guy instead. I'm not really a huge fan of interrupting the cap. I mean, obviously it's live, you want to interrupt caps, but I don't know, we'll see. Okay, we're back, everything's fine, I don't know, you know what, if it was me, I probably would have like went for the urban terrain and like try to clip these guys out, or at least try to get one more of these tanks out. Like, I'm not sure. But anyways, let's just carry it. Okay, so we do take that guy out, so that's fine. See, I mean, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it anyways, because he's gonna have hyper repair. I mean, we take that guy out, then we double attack this guy. So 6 HP, 8 HP. Completely take that guy out. I mean, you can do that. Or you can take this guy out, right? But this guy's probably a little bit better to take out. But yeah, with hyper repair, or hyper upgrade, that's just going back up to 8. So then we're going to have a full HP tank, an 8 HP tank. So those guys get cleared, and then these guys in the back, like, reinforcement range, you can naturally assume that your opponent's going to have tanks roughly where you would have tanks. So after you move these guys, you would know that the tanks would be around here. You can easily count the tiles for how far you would go at that point. So, okay, so let's carry on here. Double movement with the tanks, very nice. Okay. Hyper Upgrade, my favorite super co-power in the entire game, because it makes it so when you make mistakes, they just get corrected. Alrighty, so Lots and lots of high value units on the field now, and a little bit lower in value actually at the moment on day 12, but lots and lots of potential here, folks. So we managed to get a clear, and we strike down an anti-air, and we strike down a tank, and continue on the capture. It's very nice. Get the battlecopter and or anti-air on the field. Good. Battlecopter on the field. That's what I like to see, folks. So that was a nice turn. Nice turn. We actually did like a ton of damage here. How many tanks clears? So that was 3 tank clears, and we have like a lot of tanks in the center now. So we're feeling pretty good. Battlecopter, I probably wouldn't fight into these tanks necessarily. If anything, I maybe would bring like the battlecopter down, but let's see. Get that refuel on that black boat, keep him in the battle. And we go in for a 3-pronged attack. Unfortunately, we do not manage to clear the the tank over here, but we do take it down to 1. It's not too bad. Sitting on 3-star defense terrain over here, not too bad. Another battlecopter up in the front, about to get a 5 HP anti-air returning to the front lines pretty soon. Classy medium tank build from the Cadeor. Very, very nice. You gotta get those class boys on the field, folks. They are super nice. Double tank hit over here, managing to clear 2 tanks and an infantry. Beautiful play right there from the Andy player. Not too bad at all. We are not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Still behind by 1 property at the moment. But we do have quite a bit of potential here, right? We got lots of infantry down here. I mean, they're injured, but it's Andy, so they won't be injured forever unless they get KO'd. And we got a couple clears on some units over there. Double anti-air build, so we're doubling down on the anti-airs, doubling down on taking out those battlecopters and or infantry. But it is Cadeor's turn, so I assume Urban Blight. Okay, very nice. Got the Urban Blight. Pretty... How many units do we get with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just see something here. Okay, this unit was already at 1, so it doesn't really matter. So this is another thing. It's not really anything that you have to deal with right now, but one thing you do have to think about when you're fighting Kindle is when you bring units back to get healed, you have to think about whether or not your opponent is going to be able to get that Urban Blight, right? So if you have like a 4 HP unit that you bring back to go and try to get healed, you have to remember that when you get hit by that Urban Blight, you're going to go down to 1 HP, and then you're only going to be healed up to 3 HP. So sometimes it's more worthwhile to wait around for your heal until after the Urban Blight. Just a thought. It doesn't actually apply in this situation at the moment, but just a thought. That's all. I've seen people do it before, so you know, I just want to make sure everybody's safe out there. Safe against the Kindlemans, folks. Especially us Andy guys got to stick together. That's what it's all about. Okay, classy medium tank moving in. Recon, double infantry build. I'm very happy that we are getting another recon on the field. It's been quite some time since either player has built a recon. You really want to be keeping recons on the field if you can. I mean, obviously, if you have other buys to get, you got to get them, but recons are super essential. More than anything else, the recons are going to be the thing that really wins you the game in Fog of War. So if your opponent is not making those recons and you are, as long as you can match them in your normal builds, like, you know, tank for tank, and then toss a recon in there, the intel that you're going to get from that recon is going to be the deciding factor in the win. Like, hands down. I'm telling you. 100%. And Andy Copter going and taking a shot on a Kindle Copter with power. Not on urban trains, doesn't get the firepower bonus, but takes a nice little shot there. Little bit of a risky shot, but it has happened. Now you want to be careful when you're doing copter trades for sure, because if you actually go in for the first copter trade and there is a copter chain going, sometimes it's actually worse for you, because the second copter will normally clear your copter, and then they're just ahead by a copter and an injured copter. So, gotta watch out the attack order you do those things in. It's weird, but yeah, watch out for it. Anyways, continuing on, the battlecopters actually ended up going north here, taking a couple shots here, unknowing to them that there's 2 hungry anti-airs just ready to feed over there in the shadows. So day 15, Bakuryu is on the move, and we managed to snipe out an infantry over here, eliminating that vision. Still got 14 to cap on that, so quite some time to go. This guy is getting pretty close to being capped, but not quite there yet. Okay, and we're going in with a fresh infantry to cap that. Probably would have liked to see some kind of a block on that. More than likely your opponent is going to be going to heavy terrain, right? So they're going to be going over here onto this terrain. So if you wanted to do something sneaky like blocking it, you should probably move your infantry onto this terrain. Because obviously it's a 50% chance of where they're going to go, but like 9 times out of 10 your opponent is going to go for the highest terrain star that they can attack from. So moving your infantry right here, there's a pretty good likelihood that they might get trapped, unless they bring the recon in first and obviously get vision on it. Not everybody does that, so I still would have went right there, because at least if anything, then he would have to interrupt from the road, which gives him less defense, which allows our tank to actually attack for more damage. And anti-air sniped at the battlecopter up here. It's very cool, very nice. And we attack from a city. Not too bad. So we did quite a bit of damage up here. Still a little bit behind in the capture game. That's kind of normal when you're fighting Kindle as Andy. Classy medium tank moves up and just takes a big old bite out of that anti-air, though. That guy is in pain. Oh my god, see? Sometimes they surprise you, folks. Sometimes they surprise you. Actually, you know what? What am I even talking about? So instead of doing anything, you move it right here. Like, obviously you can move right there. That's a good block. But you move it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would have to go through the forest, and that would be like kind of risky to do, right? So you put it right there, and you would probably trap him. Anyways, continuing on. Yeah, that would have trapped him too, because he moved the recon up. Okay. Anyways, forget everything I said. Put the infantry right there. That's the spot. That's the good one. Anyways, all right. Yeah, that medium tank just took a big old bite out of that anti-air. That guy is not feeling too good about himself. All right. We have Andy, 5 minutes on the clock. No classy medium tank of his own in order to counter this medium tank right now. Not even really any battlecopter presence on the map, because our battlecopter was sniped out as well. It's gonna be kind of risky. What do we do? So we go in, so we snipe out a anti-air, snipe out an infantry, take a shot at a tank, use the hyper upgrade. Pretty nice. So that secures us the capture on that property, which actually flips at 2020, so now that's even. That should actually, you know what? That'll allow us to get like start 2 more caps, but we do have Urban Blight on the way, so it's gonna kind of stop it. Manages to trap a tank in the south, taking many shots in the center here. Ends up getting trapped by this infantry over here. Quite unfortunate, but this is what happens, folks. It's Fog of War. These things happen. Trap cards are laid. Not really too many options to interrupt these, aside from just using the Urban Blight. Medium tank can interrupt. Copter can interrupt. Recon can interrupt. I guess there's more options than I was considering, but Urban Blight is definitely the best option for interrupting, and that is unfortunate. That is actually really unfortunate. So they put the black boat onto the harbor right before an Urban Blight, which actually is going to be pretty massive. That's like almost like 2k. That's almost 2k funds right there. Like the next turn is going to be Oh, we're gonna lose a lot of money next turn. Let's just keep track of this. So he should have 21,600 next turn. But what's he actually gonna have? 15,500. Yeah. Ouch. It's a little rough. Kindle did a pretty good counterattack in the metal tier too. Managed to clear quite a few guys. Is actually really hurting in the unit count though. Andy's survivability has just been like through the roof on this game so far. Has basically completely given up on the top part of the map here. So Andy's going to be able to get a lot of caps. That's at least... Okay, so this is at least 2 caps. Well, he's going to get this and he's going to get this. This could still be interrupted. This is probably going to be interrupted. But... I think he's got like caps going in the bottom. This guy's sitting at 8. There's potential for that to go through. So sitting at 5, 1 interrupt with a tank would definitely guarantee that would not happen. Unless we get another power. It's possible we would get another power. I don't know if we would pop hyper upgrade just to like secure a cap, but I mean it's possible. I've seen like crazier things. Not too bad. Classy medium tank has still just completely been uncontested. Not even a single medium tank build. But with 15,000 funds, you're not really able to build a medium tank. Unless you're going to be joining a bunch of guys together. It's out of the question. 15k is not a very classy number, unfortunately. Alright, so day 18, bottom of the board. Cadeor is doing his best to sort of level out the unit count. But it does a little bit of a different thing. I mean, like... no, we didn't even have any options. We can attack this one, but we're about to... Yeah, we lose 3 cities. 3 cities this turn. Andy's going to capture 3 cities, and that is going to be some crazy stuff. That's going to be a massive income lead. Jesus. Jesus! Jesus! Do you see the fun difference? 24,000 to 16,000 at the moment. Day 18. That is pretty hefty. Pretty hefty. So at this point, like with the Bakuryu at 24,000, like you know that your opponent is going to be like hurting for funds. At this point, what you do is you just like, well obviously you should build a couple tech up units. For sure, get the tech up units out while you have the funds, because your opponent is not going to be able to continuously deal with the tech ups. You have the units on the field right now. We need to like pull back our units, get them healed up, wait for another hyper upgrade, keep the unit count high, and then come back like just devastate. That's exactly what we need to do. So just keep the units alive. That's the #1 priority. Yeah. So that's what we do. I mean, we attack this tank in here with 3 battlecopters. Got another battlecopter on the field. You don't... Okay, so the one thing that you really don't want to do is you don't want to solely rely on battlecopters. Like, obviously you can build battlecopters, right? But if your opponent ends up building, like, 2 anti-air, maybe 3 anti-air, or, like, 4 anti-air. Like, imagine, right? So you build like 4 anti-air, and then you make 1 mistake with your battlecopters, and then boom, that's 9, 18, 27, 36,000 value just gone off in the field. And that could have been 36,000 value. That could have been like 2 medium tanks, could have been like, I don't know, like 5 tanks or something, right? That wouldn't have fallen to anti-air in 1 shot. And then you would, like, Andy works better on like tank warfare. He obviously does do good with aerial units. They're strong. The healing factor is very, very good. But they're too susceptible to one-shots, so you don't really want to be relying on them completely. They're okay as like an assist unit, but you want to be relying on those, the tanks. You got to get the tanks on the field, folks. That's Andy's favorite thing. Andy loves medium tanks. Some Andy players enjoy making the stinky Neo tanks, and you know, they're strong, but stinky. Like I said, just invest in soap if you are going to be getting those guys. Okay, so Andy going in for a couple attacks here, not too bad. Doing a couple clears over here. I would probably start really watching the front line at this moment. So we're still at like 31 units. We're actually behind in value. Well, technically not. So we built the classic unit. Nice. That's what Andy wants to do. But yeah, we want to be getting tech up units. We want to be building more tanks. Maybe get a couple artillery on the field. And we want to be making really, really strong lines that are not susceptible to little one-shots like that right there. This medium tank is... he's hungry. He has taken so many lives today. It's been a wild time. Okay, Cadeor not going to be able to get the Urban Blight this turn over here on day 20. Is going to have it next turn, so we would be having some pretty devastating stuff happen pretty soon. Infantry skeleton down here doesn't actually see anything on the way. It is potential, possibly like something could be on the way. We know that Cadeor just invested a whole bunch of stuff in order to secure this property, right? We don't really have a lot that we can directly attack it with. I'd probably just let him have the property and like regroup. Okay, so we're gonna go in for the attack. We're going in for the interrupt, which is fine. Okay, so we do get the clear. I don't like the fact we're gonna be losing another unit. Maybe if we could like sit a unit on the city, we could sit the unit on the city here. We're gonna get urban blighted. Like, it's gonna be pretty bad. See this? Okay, this next turn, I can already see it right now. This next turn is gonna be absolutely devastating, unfortunately. All right, so we get the urban blight. It takes minimal damage, right? Ouch. Double clear there. We're gonna be getting one of the copters out. Yeah, multiple units down. Okay, we were at 70, or we were at 118,000, taken down to 72 with that attack. Like I said, we pull back, we regroup, we don't attack into that. That is far too risky to go in for that attack. That's too many units that are super susceptible. Like this medium tank is just, that's like such an MVP medium tank. He's been getting so many attacks. And you know what? It's not necessarily this player's fault, right? He's doing what he thinks he needs to do in order to win the game, right? And it's interrupt and captures. He didn't know that Kindle had a huge army right there to push in, but it's just, it's such a risky attack that it's just, I don't think it's like super worth it to go in for it. All right, so we're bringing the medium tank forward. And we're doing a couple more caps. So this is not bad. This is not bad. So we're gonna be able to maybe steal another city. But we will steal this city. We might. I very much doubt we're gonna steal the port. But we're threatening the port, which is gonna make it so Kindle has to put something over here and attack. He's not gonna be able to do it with the infantry. The infantry can't do it. He'll have to do it with either the tank or one of these tanks up here. Probably just this tank. You know, just move there, interrupt. Be perfectly fine, but we don't have enough attacks here. This medium tank might actually die next turn because we have well, I don't think it'll die. It'll get pretty injured though if Kindle goes in for the attack. I don't think Kindle will go in for the attack. I think at this point Kindle will probably pull back a little bit, maybe regroup and come back. Especially because we don't have any anti-airs to take care of this right now. I mean, this anti-air is back here. So I'll probably pull back. I'm guessing like maybe to this line, regroup, and then push in. Or maybe he'll pull back over here and try to reclaim this line up here. So he goes in with the medium tank to interrupt this, which is okay. So it does kind of pull back to where I was thinking he might. Doesn't want to push into that. That's a losing battle for sure. Even if you were to attack the medium tank, you would end up losing this medium tank in the trade to the battle copters. There's not a huge chance that would be cleared. I mean, you could attack with 2 tanks afterwards. Probably would just take the medium tank down to like 3, maybe 2 if you're lucky. So Andy goes and join caps over here, bringing that guy up to full HP with 4 left. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. Maybe it might work if we had this tile blocked. So if we block that tile with like the medium tank, possibly, but doesn't know about the copter there. Copter is going to guarantee that that does not work. Okay, these sort of attacks are not like super good though. So it's perfectly fine. I mean, like, given like the level of the players and everything, I can see like why you would go for this. But an attack like this, okay, so we have like multiple units over here and we go in for an attack. We don't really know what's in the background. We need recons. That's what we really need. Like, imagine if we had a recon here, we would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would know that there's an anti-air there, and like we would know that this is not worth it, right? So we bring the battlecopters like back, hide them behind our front lines, and then move in with like the rest of the units, right? Like send a couple, like just send it all at the same time, and don't really like, as D just says, right? You don't dabble with a couple of units. Like you gotta go in for the kill shots. That's what it's all about. It's all about the kill shots. So this, all this really does is you attack 2 tanks, and you lose 2 copters. I mean, and like, Cadeor has shown that he's built a lot of anti-air in this game, so you can just naturally assume that probably he's got like more anti-air somewhere, right? And like 7 in full HP, yeah, those guys are going down. And then we have like multiple other attacks we can do. We might even get another Urban Blade if we're like super lucky, but probably not. Going in for a double property flip down south at the moment too. And this has been cleared. So, okay, so this is like another thing, right? I know I just kind of keep on rambling here, but if you're ahead 25 to 15 on like, I'm gonna call this a standard looking map. You know, it's one side versus one side. It's not anything like super crazy about it. It's not mixed base or anything. So you got one side versus one side. Like, you don't need to push up and attack. What you need to do is you need to pull back, rebuild your forces, and just hold the position. Like, imagine if we pulled back like several days ago and we just like held our units like over here and then like over here, and that's it. And just hold over here, hold over here. Kindle would be forced to push in, and then you would just counterattack them and just completely obliterate them, because you would have 25,000 money to spend every single turn. And you could just get so much. You could buy like what would that be? I mean, you can get like battlecopter, double tank, and recon, I think, like every single turn, right? That's like 14, 9, 16, whatever. I'm not gonna do it, but you know what I mean. Know what I mean, folks. Going for the double interrupt, that's gonna guarantee 2 infantry deaths, unfortunately. We might go for a 3rd interrupt. That's also not gonna be good if we do that. Medium tank pushes up and attacks. Okay, it's fine. That's perfectly fine. I don't really like the fact that the tank moves onto the city and attacks the other tank. Like, maybe if you're gonna attack, like maybe you attack. I mean, obviously, like that's a good target to attack. But if you're gonna sit on the city, we could attack the recon, and like maybe get a clear on the recon. Unlikely, but maybe. I would probably like. I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. It's just because we're fighting Kindle, like Urban Blight. Like the Urban Blight's gonna take this unit down to 5, and then that's gonna be an even trade. That's the problem, right? So it takes it down to 5, then all of a sudden that's an even trade. And Andy doesn't really want that. You want to get the KOs. So if you were going to attack over here, Like, you could even attack here, I guess that's perfectly fine, but keep this tank back and, like, send it forward with, like, the other 2 tanks and the battlecopter next turn. Because we just eliminated this guy. And, like, the other anti-air. So now our battlecopters are uncontested. Like, virtually uncontested. But, pops Serum and Blight, takes this guy down to 5. This guy down to 7, too. A couple ones over here. The other thing is, like, Bakuryu is actually running dangerously low on time, so he's not really able to strategize as much as he would want to. So I think that's one of the problems too, right? When you're playing on increment, it is super, super difficult to come up with, like, really good moves. And this is just like, okay, just watch this, like this, 2 HP, right? Boom, takes that guy down to 5. Now, unfortunately, unless we actually KO that guy, I mean, Hyper Upgrade is just going to heal him up to full, which is fine, but nice KOs here from Cadeor, actually. But the thing is, Cadeor needs to flip those properties, and he's only got 6 days to do so. So I think one of the things that Bakuryu might be thinking right now is like, okay, I have to just like full send my army and just like kill the infantry and stop the captures. So as long as I can stop 5 caps from happening, like, I'm gonna win the game, right? And he's got 6 days to do so. Does manage to stop all these caps down here, so that's fantastic. So we stop these caps. We just have to figure out where we're gonna put our army. Double stink ball build over here. Oh my god. That's, yeah. Get some soap. Very nice. Honestly though, they're gonna be really, really effective right here. If we do manage, like, we have to send like both of these stink balls like over here. You send them both over here to hold this property or these properties, then you'll probably be fine. Like, next turn you can even like build like a battlecopter out of here and some more like fast units and just send them down here. Like, that's all I would do. Just send them down here, send it up here, hold those, and just stab some infantry whenever they show up in the middle, and that's about it. We just cleared so many units in the middle. And see, Cadeor's got like such an advantage right now because he's got 7 minutes on the clock. That was a 3-minute turn. So now he's like way ahead in units. He's got 29 units to 19. Like, he was so far behind, but because of a couple of the blunders here from the Andy player, manages to pull it back like quite a bit and actually pull ahead. But he's still behind in properties. Like, he has to cap those properties. So we get the hyper upgrade. And it's not too bad, not too bad. So we get some value for sure. We have to send something over here. Like, we have to send the Neo tanks like over here, like 100%. At least one. We have to at least send one, right? If we allow this side to go uncontested, it's probably like 4 days, right? So we have 2 infantry. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It's possible. It's fairly possible that he could get the caps. One, 2, 3, 4. Like, he's threatening 4 caps right now. Yeah, that's a lot of caps. Okay, so 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. What is he gonna do? What are we attacking? We're attacking a tank. Okay, if anything, gotta attack from this tile right here. Goes into the forest instead. Unfortunately, that's a very little thing, little micro thing, right? Attacking from the forest, you get the KO, right? Obviously. But if you attack from here, you still get the KO, and you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're in position to assist this side a little bit more. Like from right here, you're actually just out of range of interrupting this property. If it came to it, you are in range to interrupt this property, but without some more units, you're kind of in trouble a little bit. But so we take out the 4 HP infantry. Probably would have attacked this one because we don't want to get a full 10 HP cap instantly. Obviously, there's this infantry here, so 10 HP cap is highly likely. Interrupt this cap over here. This cap is going through. Threatening another cap and another cap. Ooh, 27 days. 27 days. Uses the power at the end of the turn. 27 days. Oh my god. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna be able to get over there? Oh my god. So wasn't able to get over to any of the properties. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Dang. Ooh, so on day 28, Kindle evens the playing field. So it's now like an even game, but Kindle is in the position right now where they might be able to actually flip an additional property. Threatening a cap on this property here and a cap on this property here. Like at this point, we have got to move the stink ball onto the property. Like keep the stink ball on the property. Don't even move them. 100%. Like this property right here. Like move the medium tank onto this property. Move the battle copter onto this property. Just cover the properties. Do not let your opponent get the properties. Right? Take these 2 battle copters. Eliminate this infantry. Stick the flippin' stink ball on this property right here. And like just do the same for all the other properties. Keep tank on that property, right? I mean, Kindle just used the Urban Blight, so he's not going to have that another Urban Blight for like a little while because of the amount of Urban Blights that have been used. Like at this point, even properties, just get everything onto a property. 100%. Like this is okay. I guess that's perfectly fine. So we put this guy here, but this guy needs to go on this. 100%. We know that a whole bunch of properties just got capped up there. We need to put the hardiest unit that we have on the frontline properties. Like even if this Neo tank was gonna get attacked by like let's say like 3 battlecopters or something, it's not gonna go down to 3 battlecopters. It's gonna survive. We're gonna get another hyper repair or something that's gonna heal up. It's gonna last 2 days, like 100%. All we have to do is just last like 2 days on the property. We put infantry on the property. I guess that's fine as long as we cover it. It's okay. But not covering this property right here, that is super critical. He manages to get like a full surround on this, which is just absolutely crazy. This is like wild stuff. It is possible. Okay, so we take Neo tank, we blast that. We take tank, might be able to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not gonna work. If the tank does 80% damage over here, it might work. Like we just have to interrupt it. Going for the attack, come on. We don't have vision. Okay, so we need vision. We gotta move the infantry like right here, gate vision. And then we do that, we pop like we pop hyper repair so we can guarantee this. We might, it's on 3-star terrain. It's on 3-star terrain. It's not gonna work. I thought that was a road. No, 3-star terrain, we're not gonna get it done. So Kindle manages to get the property on day 30. Like, oh my god, like all we had to do was just bust it open and that's it. Oh, it's so unfortunate. And he was in such a good position there to actually win it out. And the crazy thing is right at the very end, boom, he's capping a property and he's got hyper repair. Oh my god, he's capping the property and he's got hyper repair. This unit here, the recon, is actually able to go over here. Most likely it is going to be able to do about 10% damage, but the heal would actually heal it up. They would recapture that, making it an even game. But unfortunately, because he wasn't able to get that, wasn't able to do it. So there was a couple things like in the mid game, right, with like sending a like overextending with a lot of your units and just sort of dabbling instead of actually going in to do some big ones. But the main takeaway from this is when it's an even game, we gotta take your big beefy units and stick them on those frontline cities, like right there, like 100%. Now with the Urban Blight, you know, maybe it's not possible. So let's see. So you move this guy here. Actually, we need to do it on his turn, right? So even if we got vision, right? So we move here, we get vision. Move this, we take this guy out. Actually, if we, okay. If we want to be like super adventurous, actually what we really should do, we should probably move, well, because we know this square is fine, so we move the tank. We move the tank here, get the vision, we find out there's nothing here, we find out that there's an infantry here. Move the Neo, eliminate the infantry, move another tank, attack this infantry. Then he's got no capping infantry that are in range of this property. And he's got a Neo tank on it, which is going to be at 7 HP after the use of Urban Blight. Only potential attack on it would be a battle copter and a tank, which would not be a clear. Might be able to take it down to like maybe a high roll, like a 3, maybe. But it would not be able to clear. And the other stink ball is able to attack the other classy boy. So that would be perfectly fine. Like, we would end up, 100% we would end up with a draw if we had actually put this guy here. But, you know, it is Live League, folks, and crazy things happen in Live League. But I thought this was a really interesting one because, for one thing, it actually went all the way to day limit. And two, it was a massive comeback from Cadeor over here. So I thought it was, like, very, very cool. Very, very cool. And he also sent a very interesting message in the game. And let me just go ahead and see if I can find it here. I just have to go and look. I was going to have this queued up, but unfortunately, something did not work out as planned. Now, I've actually looked through a couple of this guy's games, and he sends kind of silly messages to people, like every single game. So he says, slowly, the Bakuryu consumes the dreams that become increasingly absurd and silly. His mind is filled with the silliness of that which he consumes. Unbeknownst unto him, he becomes the Bakuryu, guffawing like a maniac over things that haven't even happened, unable to distinguish between real from imaginary. The silliness intensifies as his addiction to the silly dreams fuel his passion, but the laughter is less potent with each slurp. And as the silliness continues, so too does his decline into obliviousness to the reality of his situation, or any such reality for that matter. So, I thought that was pretty funny. It's interesting. You know what? I like when people do a little bit of banter in games. It's like, it's pretty fun. And honestly, it makes the community fun, you know? As long as you're not being insulting to your opponents or anything, it's perfectly fine. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the one today. And it was a doozy. So if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. I will see you on the next one, folks. So make sure to take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.